What's up, everybody? Chris Wild here with another video, and this week has been Dallas week. The game that we all circle on our schedule for sure, and a game that we look forward to every year, because if you're like me, as soon as I was an Eagles fan, I became an Eagles fan and a Dallas Cowboy hater. I hate everything about the Cowboys. I hate the stupid star on their helmet. I hate those gray and white uniforms, the gray and blue uniforms. I hate the owner. I hate the stadium, the stupid big ass Tron that they have in their stadium. I hate everything about the team. The team in the 90s when I was growing up, it was very annoying. And I'm sure it was for everybody. All the local people around here that have no ties to the Cowboys, all of a sudden we're Cowboy fans. It's just, to me, I just hate every single thing about them. Always have, always will. So with that, let me start off with the headline of this video, and that is just a couple minutes ago, I'm searching my social media, and I see an article from gcobb.com where Gary Cobb, ex-linebacker, I believe, I could be wrong, for the Philadelphia Eagles, puts out an article saying that he guarantees that the Eagles are going to trade for Broncos cornerback Chris Harris Jr. That to me is big news. I can't see somebody guaranteeing something without having some kind of knowledge. He said he doesn't know what they're going to trade or how it's going to get done, but he guarantees that it will. And the good thing about this, man, is that Chris Harris Jr. is better than any cornerback that we have. There were ties to this trade being done even when Jalen Ramsey was still on the table. And speaking of Jalen Ramsey, the video I had last, I was very upset that the Eagles did not trade for Jalen Ramsey, but it wasn't just the Jalen Ramsey thing. It was the fact that the Eagles cornerbacks got absolutely embarrassed, toasted, roasted, you name it, against the Minnesota Vikings last week. Stephon Diggs made them look like amateurs. I feel like any two college players could have started as corners and been better off for just the same. I mean, it was an embarrassing display. And Howie Roseman the next day didn't do anything. There was no trade for anybody. I mean, just nothing was done, and that really pissed me off as an Eagles fan and watching what I had to watch and knowing that we got to face the Dallas Cowboys Sunday night, and that Amari Cooper, at the time didn't know if he was going to play, but I remember him torching our guys last year, and it's not something that I want to see. Every single game, I've seen these guys get destroyed. It wasn't just against the Vikings. It's been against rookies. It's been against older players. I mean, you name it. These receivers, these number one receivers, are just killing the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's absolutely disturbing, and it's just something I don't want to see. So yeah, I was pissed off that happened. If they're able to get Chris Harris Jr., I think it's going to be huge for this secondary. It's a competitive player, only 30 years old, and it's going to definitely add something to this football team that we desperately need. So check out the article at gcobb.com. It's still going to be there, I believe, and he goes more in detail on why he guarantees this is going to happen. And while I speak of guarantee, earlier this week, Doug Peterson came out and said that we were going to go into Dallas and win this football game. And of course, all the Philadelphia media blew it up and are saying he's guaranteeing victories, this and that. Obviously, that gives Dallas some bulletin board material. And, it was a little, but I love it because Doug Peterson's showing that he has confidence in this football team. It's a message that he's sending to these guys that he believes that they can win, and now they've got to back it up, and they got to play for Doug Peterson on Sunday night to take first place in the NFC East. Obviously, this gave the Dallas Cowboys a little bit of bulletin board material, but I believe it was a good psychological move by Doug Peterson because in giving them bulletin board material, a Dallas Cowboys player, DeMarcus Lawrence, bit on it, and he basically said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that Doug can't win the game for him to bring it, and that he should shut up and stay on the sideline. So now the bulletin board's in our favor, bulletin board material's in our favor, and I think it adds some fire to this Eagle team that definitely needs it after a crushing loss against Minnesota last week. And speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, they also had a bad defeat against the stinking New York Jets, a team that absolutely sucks and is probably the worst team besides Miami in the NFL this year. I can't even explain how they lost that game, but they're definitely going to be coming out trying not to lose 4 games in a row, and the Eagles are going to have their A game to stop them. I mean, Ezekiel Elliott kills us every single time, and we all know what happened. I talked about it earlier. Last year when they beat us in Dallas, and Amari Cooper had 3 touchdowns against us. So, as bad as Dallas has looked, they always play us well, and we're going to definitely have to bring our A game. But let's talk about some injuries, man. Deshaun Jackson out again for the Eagles. Something that's been frustrating me all year. The guy plays, we get so hyped during the offseason for him and Carson making a connection, and then we get to see him for one game and haven't seen him since. We're kind of hopeful that he's going to play this week, and then we find out that he's out. The Eagles need to do something there because the lack of a deep threat is killing them almost as much as the cornerbacks being horrible are. So Deshaun's out. The other wide receivers have got to step up. Somebody's got to step up besides Alshon Jeffrey. There was some rumors put out there that a player, anonymous player, was talking shit about Carson and this and that. I'm not even going to bring it up because without it, if it's anonymous, it's bullshit to me. Without a source, there's no story. So I'm not even going to bring that up. But I think that all this newsworthy stuff is going to bond these guys together for this big game. I'm hoping so, at least. But besides Deshaun being out, Jason Peters is out, which means Andre Dillard has to step in. The guy was drafted in the first round for reasons like this. So he's definitely got to step his game up because being thrown into the fire last week, he did not fare too well. And Dallas is definitely going to pick on this guy. So he's out. All the regulars are still out. Avonte Maddox, obviously. Darren Sproles is still out. However, the Eagles are getting Jalen Mills and Ron Darby back. I told you guys what I felt about Ron Darby when I was upset in that video about Jalen Ramsey. And I still believe, as E-Rock from 4th and John said, that Ron Darby is Byron Maxwell with dreads. I mean, he has just not been good since he's been here. He's not been healthy since he's been here. And he's really got to give us a good game on Sunday. He really has to. And then Jalen Mills coming back. He can't be worse than Sidney Jones. I mean, it's not possible. However, he's playing his first game in a year, a high-pressure situation. Before he got hurt, we were all complaining about the double moves that were put on him. So he's going to have to, again, play. He's going to be asked to play at a high level coming off of a pretty bad injury. I mean, it was like a year-long injury. So I don't know. I don't have much confidence in the secondary right now as it is. But I look over at the Dallas side, and I just look at a team that is in complete disarray with a really bad coach. So it's a big thing this week. If the Eagles lose this game, my week's going to be absolutely horrible because there's nothing worse than losing to the Dallas Cowboys. Really, there's nothing worse for a football team than to lose to them. So this has been long-winded. Tonight I have a wrestling match that I'm preparing for. Tomorrow I will have another video, win, lose, or draw, after the Eagles game on Sunday night. And look, man, number 11, this is another game, like I said during the Packers game, where it's a career-defining type of victory because he's going to have to do more than just be average. He's going to have to be excellent to win this game. And again, it's not like the Cowboys or the New England Patriots, but it's Dallas. It's Sunday night. Your team is reeling, and again, this is where superstars are born, man. This is where number 11 shows. And please, just to silence the critics. That's the biggest thing for me. Silence everybody, guys. Have a good game on offense and a good game on defense for the first time. This defense is in bad shape, but I think that there are some bright spots. Again, you do get these two guys back off injury. It's going to be better than last week. Has to be. And then you lose an eyesore in the middle in Zach Brown, man. I mean, the Eagles released him earlier this week. I think it was a good move. I questioned it at first, but after watching the film from the Minnesota game, he looked lost at times, looked slow at times, and then it didn't help that he talked shit about Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins absolutely destroys the Eagles' defense. T.J. Edwards, rookie out of Wisconsin. I liked him when they signed him as a rookie free agent. He's really good at stopping the run, not so much at covering, but we're facing a guy in Ezekiel Elliott who destroys us every time that we play him. And, as bad as Dak has been too, and I don't believe that Dak Prescott is a good quarterback at all. For some reason, man, and it's just like Kirk Cousins. For some reason, he plays well against us. He really does. And he did it last year. He beat us twice last year. Can't take that away from him. And again, with a monster like Zeke, that takes a lot of pressure off him. Cooper's playing. Both the tackles are playing. So those guys, they're pretty healthy. They're going to be pretty healthy coming into the game. So again, I think it's going to be a tough game to win, but I do think the Eagles can win the game. I think it's going to be close, but I'm not going to sit here in the first Dallas preview video of the season and say that the Cowboys are going to win. I'm not going to do it. So I'm going all the way with that midnight green, and I'm saying that the Eagles are going to win on Sunday Night Football and we're going to feel a little bit better at the end of the day. So with that, I got a lot of preparing to do here at 4133, and then tonight in Newcastle, Delaware, where I wrestle for the ECWA. So everybody have a great weekend. Get fired up, get eagled up. Let's go into Dallas and kick some ass, man. Let's dance all over that star, and let's get our first place Philadelphia Eagles where they should be, and that's in the first place. And let this be a get right game for the Eagles. Go Birds. Thanks. Like, subscribe, share. Let's get this ball rolling. Thanks for all the new subscribers too. I got a decent amount of new subscribers this past week. Thank you guys. Like I said, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Go Birds.